my fellow sap enthusiasts. This is the state of the kingdom. We are in the unicorn pack. We are going to discuss a little bit the current state of the pack because I've been living in custom packs as well as ranked and wild custom packs lately. I've been trying to come up with videos for standard packs and it's been pretty tough. So we're going to have a main run here. We're going to have some bonus clips and then we'll ride off into the sunset to a kind of a longer run. But yeah, I wanted to utilize this time kind of during the beginning of the run to basically go over the current state because I think it is pretty wild for this pack. Unicorn pack, I always saw it as a very, very fun pack. There's many builds you can do, and every build is kind of unique in that you kind of have to go all in on it. You have jump pets, you have ailments, you have mana pets, and a couple others that I'm probably forgetting off the top of my head. Well, I'm sure we'll see them in these runs or the bonus clips. But a lot of different things you can do. When you consider like mana pets, you have stuff like the Cali Greyhound that's super unique to remove HP. You have, speaking of another synergy, you have the roll synergy. As far as mana generation, right, you have Mana Hound, you have all these different tiers, right? We have the Alchemedes at tier 1, Thunderbird tier 2, the Mana Hound, the Rock, it goes all the way up to Sleipnir. So mana generation is a great thing. The unfortunate part is utilizing all these things in the synergy. Basically what people do is they set up the whole team and then they just run the absolute meta, which can't blame them. Can't blame people for doing that. But it's gotten to the point where nothing else can really be competitive. So when you consider the roll synergies, you have stuff like the Bigfoot, and then of course the Worm of Sand, you can get the scaling going. You eventually get to the Yeti, but the focus here is actually going to be in what I think is a very underutilized tier 3 roll pet. We'll get to that in a second. Oh, literally 1 second. It's the Ouroboros. There it is, frozen in the shop. So every time you roll, it's going to give the newly rolled shop pet stats. And yeah, that's going to be a consistent theme in this run because that's what I was able to utilize to basically get me some wins that maybe were slightly different than all the other teams in the pool. It's a tough world out there. Let's talk about ailments, I guess, on that note. I guess real quick, wrapping up the mana thing, as far as the meta, you have like the Pishu, which generates the gold as well, which is amazing. But I found that only cascades to like people can get the gold generation and basically guarantee that they're going to get level 2, level 3 sea serpents very quick. So all the mana teams eventually end up in just running like a level 3 sea serpent or like double sea serpent, and you have no chance essentially against that. Ailments. Ailment teams are super cool. It's one of my favorite in the game, but it's one of the strongest in the game right now. And sorry, I'm going to be going back and forth a lot because I just want to point out rotating in this Mana Hound with the stats, and you see I have a bunch of stuff frozen. It's because I want to utilize those stats. I think I found this stuff late, but you want to utilize the stats that you're getting. So it's kind of awkward with the Ouroboros if you want to not sacrifice the lives yet. You're basically not buying as many things and you're rolling a lot. So back to the ailments. You see there in the shop, the Mothman, great example of just a fun, different ailment pet. It scales itself based on how many ailments go out. So if you give ailments to the enemy team, it's going to scale itself. If the enemy team throws ailments your way, it's going to scale itself. So it's a great option. You have that, obviously the staple of the pack, the token pet, the unicorn. It's a great form of scaling early as well in this pack. You have the wall chicken you see there in the shop. I utilize unicorn probably the most in unicorn pack. It's probably my favorite pet just to use as the intermittent scaling. It's a great option. What's the problem with ailment pets? Well, the first problem is when you get to turn 7 and you get the level ups, you can level up into a vampire bat. And when you consider pets like the frost wolf that you see in the shop there, it is absolutely broken. You go vampire bat, frost wolf, the enemy team essentially has no chance unless they snipe your vampire bat before it gets to pop off. So you see there, out of nowhere, we get a level 2.66 Lucky Cat with a gingerbread. Possibly one of the best setups. And you see I'm scaling the Ouroboros and the Bigfoot. So looks like I'm not interested in keeping this Lucky Cat long term. It's kind of interesting how it all works out. And yeah, ailments, the ultimate kind of slap in the face with the ailment builds in Unicorn Pack is the Manticore. Once you get the Manticore going with either the Frostwolf or the Phoenix, it doesn't matter how many stats you have on your team. If you do not disrupt the enemy team, you're done. You got no chance. I don't care. I mean, maybe if you have a full, like, 70 plus behemoth team, I'm thinking of, like, the crisp, like, double level 2 Manticore with, like, a Phoenix Mushroom team, right? If you're getting 1 or 2 crisps per your pet that are magnified multiple times, it's going to be pretty hard to beat that team. So it's frustrating, but try to work around it. Try to have fun with it. You know, just experiment a little. See if we can run the meta, but essentially insert a pet or 2 here or there. And let's go back to the mana pets real quick, because there's a Kitsune on the opposing team. We're going to see it plenty, but the Chimera Kitsune, or you can even go Sea Serpent Kitsune, but that's not as good because it's good if the Sea Serpent's in the front of your team and activating quickly. The Chimera Sea Serpent, or the Chimera Kitsune, if you get that going, you can get 3 like 30 plus attack, 50 HP summons on the back line of your team. It's absolutely devastating. And if you're running that with like behemoths or some other kind of synergy, it's absolutely devastating. If you have Chimera Kitsune, you essentially don't need any other synergy. You can run like Frostwolf Vampire Bat with that and just put the Chimera Kitsune in the back of your team, put some Ambrosia on it so they're well protected. And it's pretty devastating. So let's look here. We got Ouroboros. It looks like we're going to be pushing level 3, which is an interesting thing to do at this point. But the good thing is we have level 2 Wormistan now. We have the money generation from the Lucky Cat. And most teams at this point in Unicorn Pack are pivoting. But you see here, this team kept double Suchi Noko. So they kept 2 tier 1 pets because they knew all they needed is a Loveland Frog later, and they're riding off into the sunset. They're going to scale to the moon. So that's another problem. Like the jump synergy, you're basically just setting up the whole team with all these jump pets, and then just do whatever you can to find a Loveland Frog. And if you get a Loveland Frog early enough, most likely you're going to outscale everything else in Unicorn Pack, right? There's not... Wall Chicken Unicorn can't keep up with it. Worm of Sand most likely can't keep up with it. The only thing that's going to keep up with it, I think, is getting like the Cascade. You get the Pichu money generation or the Lucky Cat money generation, and then eventually get like multiple level 2 behemoths or crazy like high tier 5, tier 6 pivot, right? Maybe an amalgamation pivot with a unicorn into some crazy stuff, so you get the initial base stats. Yeah, we got some level ups here. We got the Nessies that we're working on now, so kind of the roll synergy with the Nessies. It's a great option. Behemoth Phoenix, great pets on tier 6 to take. But going to go ahead and take the Nessie, and I don't think we've taken any rolls yet. We have 1 free roll and 2 gold remaining. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. It kind of makes sense when we have a tier 2 and a tier 3 on the team still that we want to keep. So it makes sense to bring in the Quetzalcoatl. And saving 1 Bigfoot, because when the Quetzalcoatl hits the Bigfoot, it'll need 1 more experience to get to level 3. So kind of all works out nice here. And if you're familiar with the Unicorn Pack, this team is kind of the perfect setup to bring in 1 more pet. So I'm looking for 1 pet essentially, 1 pet only. And here is our best friend, the Chimera Kitsune. Looks like they're just getting it set up a little bit late, but it's still strong. I did not have a good turn there, so didn't expect to win. And we leveled up into Team Spirit there, so that's something fun to talk about. We had the Lucky Cat on the team, Team Spirit's there. That's been one of the staple metas in Unicorn Pack since its inception. I think it's a little bit harder to set up now. Maybe if you get the high roll Lucky Cat early and you get like 2 level 2.66 Lucky Cats with Gingerbread, or maybe the Lucky Cat Ogopogo going. to where you're really like carrying your team on the front end, and then you have room to make the pivots to the team spirits on the back end. But if you get that, multiple team spirit, multiple gingerbread, you either run Cyclops, Lucky Cats, I don't know, Tsuchinoko is a good option, even though you can just do gingerbread instead. Those experienced teams get absolutely out of control as well. But honestly, right now, don't have a big problem with them because they don't seem to be part of the problem. And yeah, with all that being said, we'll talk about the state a little bit more in the bonus clips. Let's focus on this run here because this is one of the few runs I got in many, many runs in the last, 6 weeks or so. I haven't posted a unicorn clip in quite a while. And there you go, the Bigfoot that we've been scaling all game, we actually just sold. It's pretty interesting. Level 3 Ouroboros is really cool. I mean, look at the stats on these pets now. 21 Sea Serpent. And it would be awesome to buy that Yeti. If I was in a dire situation, I probably would have sold my 812 level 1 Yeti and bought the one with the higher stats. But it's not really needed at this point, so... And here's the jump teams. Can we power through? We can power through with ease, actually. And here we go. We get 8 rolls, and look at the stats on everything. So the game becomes very simple when you have this team set up. It's simply just buy the units, right? Everything that's frozen from the Yetis already gets the Ouroboros stats. So all we have to do is just keep stacking stuff, and we get our scaling. It's a pretty cool way. I realize at this point this Worm of Sand is absolutely pointless. Let's just guarantee we get a 50-50 Nessie boat, and then hopefully we just keep finding more Yetis. We need one more Nessie, and we're at 8 trophies. So considering if we find one more Nessie to stack and make it level 3, and we'll get those temporary stats, as long as we win out, should be in a decent spot. And here you go, 1731. We have a good amount of attack, so we can power through it. We find the Nessie, and we find one Yeti. That's really good. Honestly, that's probably about as good as we can ask for. So now we want to stack a Yeti, and then we want to roll once and see what we get. It's not much. It's not much. It's kind of a tough call here, but we could take the level up and see what we get. They don't have the temporary stats. So it's a tough call. It's a tough call. What do you take at this point? Really don't know. The Barghest I'm highlighting because it does make sense to put an ailment. Buy a Cuddle Toad. Figure if we lose, maybe we can get some weakness for a couple turns. Something like that. It's kind of an interesting last turn, but when you're running Ouroboros, you have the flexibility to do this. And the 50-50 Nessie vote is so clutch. Luckily, we can barely scrape through their summons in the end, and we get the win. It felt so good. Now, on to these bonus clips. You're going to see a consistent theme in my teams in these bonus clips, and that is jump pets. I'm actually just kind of on the side here or there. I started just kind of doing some gauntlet runs. Nothing too serious or anything. I'm just kind of starting in Turtle Pack and seeing where I end up. Spoiler alert, I am hard stuck on Golden Pack. I have not gotten through Golden Pack yet. I think I'm just bad at Golden Pack. I've noticed between ranked and going back and playing Golden Pack recently, I'm just out of touch with it, and I don't seem to win with it. But take a look at this team. Double level 3 Sea Serpent. It's just ridiculous. With these teams that get the all level 3 pets, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. And this team here, here's the example of the Chimera Kitsune with just 3 whatever pets in front. Doesn't matter what you have in front. It looks like they supplemented a couple summons with it. They even have an evil book going with it. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting what you run into on some of these. And here you go, little Pengobble, level 3 rock. It looks like they're doing a Quetzal, a little Ketz team. And there's just no getting by this. So every run in this bonus clip that you see that lost here is pretty much a gauntlet run ending. It's not a big deal because obviously I won Golden Pack, Unicorn Pack's the second pack in the Gauntlet, so it's not a big deal or anything, but it's kind of tough when I'm struggling on the second pack, and what is there, 5 packs total? So it's tough. Wish me luck in my Gauntlet grind. I have no expectations for it whatsoever. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's getting me to play the standard packs more, and that's the main reason I'm doing it. So check this out, the Amalgamation Unicorn combo. I thought this was so cool. Basically buffing your little Cerberus dogs. Little Cerberus dogs. Your little fire pups. There they are. And this run felt really good, but just barely fell short. Quite unfortunate. So now we're going to get into the final bonus clip where we're going to ride off into the sunset. I thought this was just kind of a cool, different way kind of to get a team set up in Unicorn Pack. Things get pretty rough because as you see we're running Werewolf, so we're only getting our Werewolf stats on the even turns. So every odd turn, if we can scrape a win on an odd turn, that is what we need. We only have 2 lives and we need 6 wins. So not the best position to run Werewolf on your team, but when you have we have Phoenix, Amalgamation, Brain Cramp, Unicorn, that's kind of a good combo. So I was like, maybe this team can go somewhere. Maybe. Obviously we want Phoenix, Amalgamation. We don't want Amalgamation level up apparently. That surprised me a lot. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where this team goes. As we run into a double Skeleton Dog, double Cyclops. See, these people, they're setting up some crazy stuff. They're setting up some crazy stuff here. Maybe I'm just out of tune a little bit with these packs. I know you can do crazy stuff with Cyclops, but a lot of times I just don't see the opportunity to do it. But with all that being said, we're going to ride off into the sunset. If you hung around this long, I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you think. The State of the Kingdom. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. As always, have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one.
I can't sleep, yeah. Only miss you when I'm breathing in too deep, yeah. Am I just your little secret? I didn't hear the sirens. I didn't wanna see the warning signs, and now I pay the price, yeah. Oh, I should've known. It hits me like a tidal wave every time you say my name. It hits me like a tidal wave. It hits me like a tidal wave. A tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. I was so blind, waiting patient on the shoreline. Now you're leaving, but I know you got your reasons too. I didn't hear the sirens. I didn't wanna see the warning signs, and now I pay the price, yeah. Oh, I should've known. It hits me like a tidal wave every time you say my name. It hits me like a tidal wave. It hits me like a tidal wave. A tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. falling down these lies again. This feeling that I have deep down inside.